And now, we're in mid-quiet. Here on the planet Vertumna. We're here in the Stratocolony. Oh, hey! Hello! A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Solana, Mars calls out to you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. This smart snow could ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around in it, you could fetch them for me. Okay. Good, Mars claps. She's probably just down the hill near our quarters, Mars sighs. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the doors, and all she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Okay. Hi, Tammy. There you are. Tammy is staring obliviously at the sky, smiling to herself. She startles as you approach. Oh, hello, Solana, she says, putting her hand to her chest. Do you need something? I'm here for Mars's soy sweets. Tammy smiles at you. Oh, it's so nice of you to help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. She hands you a box wrapped in a pink and yellow scarf. One order of mango soy sweets made fresh this morning, she says. Please tell Mars that she can have the scarf back, okay? She used some of her kudos to nanoprint it for me because it's so dusty here, but I think I'm getting used to it now. Tammy smiles again and tucks her hair behind her big elven ears. Mars is so cool, she says fondly. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares too. Okay. And Mars? Mars puts her hand out expectantly. Give it here. Here it is. You hand over the box of soy sweets with a smile. Mars takes it and giggles. You're such a good sidekick, doing everything I say. She opens the box and hands you a soy sweet. Your tip, she tells you. Oh, an administrator Seek's looking for someone to do delivery jobs for the depot, she says. I don't want to do it, 'cause, like, ew. Running around out there? No. Just go through there, she says, gesturing to the door behind her, and tell them I referred you. Okay? And it looked like Tammy might have more to say. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance of the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you used to play with her. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mom died, her dad used all his nanoprinter creds to print her a different doll every month for a whole year. Her ears perked up when she sees you. Oh, hello, Solana, she says. Her voice is so soft and dreamy, like a beam of starlight. Do you want to play dolls? Yeah. You don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she seems to be them now. She takes you to her quarters and brings out the entire Spacey Stacy doll collection. A disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements, and two super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly, who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover her quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The two of you spend the afternoon making up stories to the rise of stardom and as professional breakdancers. Oh, that's cute. It looks like we have 18 friendship with Tammy. Oh, and she's 11. Look at me! It's Anemone! Anemone is bumping a sports ball with her wrist, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts, and bumps the ball in your direction. Thinks fast. Bounce it back. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. Anemone tells you the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little zero-G one on the Stratospheric. Her brother Calm is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play with him. You should come join us. Sure. Maybe once it's warmer? Oh, hey, it's our dad. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaimed, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Hanging out with my friends. That Cal's a good boy, he says. And have you seen Anemone? She's been out in the garrison playing sports ball. I think she's spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckles to himself. Guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. He breathes deeply and looks around. Vertumna is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons! He shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons! Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. You find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouse with a small construction crew. You've seen the plans pinned to the wall of the family's quarters for years now. The geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth, spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asks. Remember, Solana, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points towards the engineering ring in the back half of the stratospheric severed frame. Professor Howell's still accepting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? What are you doing in geoponics? She looks down and nudges a sprout growing beneath her feet. It's green, the color of earth plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. She takes a long look at you up and down. You're growing fast, Solana, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you on the shoulder. Don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. What's happening in engineering? Hal's teaching classes on life sciences, engineering, and humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Ooh. Your dad thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the fields. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. And if you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. What can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can visit the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard, too. What's in the garage, then? Security Chief Brett is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'd be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are most like soldiers you'd seen on a holovid. For a moment, you think your mom's going to suggest something else, then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that just yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. So what's going on in command? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there, if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Governor Udicott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman, and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mom isn't usually known for her patience. Can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let the adults find out, then maybe you can join them in a few years when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye. I guess we'll come see Dees. Dees looks at his feet and pretends not to notice you. I am not going to dare him to eat a worm. Oh yeah, and that reminded me of what Mars said in here. Oh, I can't do that yet. I need toughness or organization. So I guess that leaves decision. Go to plants or go to school? Mom seemed to want me to work on school, but they also really need help in there right now. They both want me in here, so I guess this is what I'll do. I'll get friendship with Cal. It's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Oh boy. Good morning, Solana. Looks like you're working for your old lady. I hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my daughter. She walks you around the geoponics swing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste, and equipment from one place to another. Get comfortable with this, she says, pushing a squeaky, old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you. Now, any questions before you start moving that dirt? Where do you want me to move it? From over there, she points to a dirt pile, to there. She points at an identical pile 10 meters away. She sees your confusion. We had some very precious soil from Earth on this ship, full of nutrients and bugs and bacteria our plants need to grow. But it was lost, she sighs, in an accident. Now we have to make more from scratch using Vertumna soil. This is part of the process. Why not use hydroponics? On the ship we grew most of our plants with their roots in the water, and it's true it's more hygienic that way. Your mom replies, brushes an insect off her arm, which lets out a squeak of objection. But hydroponic systems use too much energy. Here, we have to grow as much as we can the old-fashioned way. Okay, let's get to work. That's my girl, your mom says, slapping you on the back. You stumble a little. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And somehow good. You can feel your muscles growing already. Shoveling. Okay. 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. Yay! I got a super goal! This week, you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what someone is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning, you were sure Professor Howell was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria, spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Howell walked away, his hash browns safe today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. Is that Tammy? She's beautiful. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body to the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if those things haven't happened yet? But they will someday. At time, you try to tell someone they think you're playing a trick or that you're sick and need to go to the med bay. You eventually decide to stay quiet on your strange dreams. I don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their minds already. You have a feeling that something is happening in geoponics, and they don't want you to know. You don't understand it, but when they come home late at night, they look really sad. You don't want to make that worse. If you just keep going to classes and staying out of trouble, it'll be easier for everyone, yourself included. And now, it's the end of the quiet season.